The feast day for one of Pope Leo XIV's favorite saints is this Monday, March 23rd. This year marks the 300th anniversary of Saint Toribio of Mogrovejo's canonization. The missionary saint is especially celebrated in Peru, where then Father Bob Prevost formed a special connection with him. Our colleague Jonathan Liedl, managing editor of the National Catholic Register, traveled to Peru to learn more.
The day before Pope Leo XIV became the Bishop of Chiclayo, Peru, he spent the night in prayer. Not at the main cathedral in the heart of the city, but here, in the dusty, half-forgotten town of Zana, keeping vigil with a relic of a beloved local saint known as the Apostle of Peru. This large leg fragment belongs to Saint Toribio of Mogrovejo, a 16th century archbishop called Santo Toribio in Peru. Father David Farfan is the pastor of the local parish in Zana, and he brought us into the chapel that houses the relic for a closer look.
This is the oratorio we call, is the very holy place where we have the relic of Toribio, and the same relic that we are appreciating, the Pope Leo was also praying.
And on that visit, the future pope even asked to borrow pajamas so he could spend the entire night praying with the saint.
And the following day, he officially took the office as a bishop in Chiclayo.
Why did the American missionary turned Peruvian bishop have such a love for Santo Toribio? Because in many ways, he was following in his footsteps. Like Pope Leo, Santo Toribio was sent to Peru as a missionary. Born in 1538 in Spain, the lay canon lawyer was nominated by King Philip II to become the second Archbishop of Lima. Toribio was ordained, consecrated, and sent to the New World in 1579. Upon arrival, he translated the Catechism into local languages like Quechua, defended the rights of indigenous peoples, and walked thousands of miles across Peru to evangelize. Father Farfan sees several connections between Santo Toribio and how Pope Leo served as Bishop of Chiclayo.
Both of them knew that they were foreigners. And the kind of approaching people when you are a foreigner and understanding this, because I was a missionary too, is not imposing things, but understanding, listening.
Father Farfan also cites Pope Leo's focus on community, Marian spirituality, and social teaching as traits that he shares with Santo Toribio, the patron of Latin American bishops.
So many similarities.
It's incredible, yeah.
In fact, a poster at the local parish describes Pope Leo as having a corazon toribiano, a heart of Toribio. And Pope Leo is keeping his devotion to the Peruvian saint alive in Rome. When the bishops of Peru visited in January, Pope Leo told them that it was providential they'd come during the third centennial of Santo Toribio's canonization. He held up the Peruvian saint as a model of fidelity to God's word and evangelistic zeal, and encouraged the bishops to be close to their people, so that what was said about Santo Toribio could be said of them, that he felt so much love for everyone that he held them in his heart as if he were the father of each one. The bishops left Pope Leo with a gift, a tondo depicting the saints of Peru, including, of course, Toribio. As a bishop, Pope Leo returned often to Zana, which is about 30 miles outside of Chiclayo, especially for celebrations on April 27th, a Santo Toribio feast day in Peru that commemorates the transfer of the saint's body to Lima. Because although Toribio's final resting place is here in the capital city's cathedral, he actually died in Zana. Alfredo Perez, a local historian, led us to the place where Santo Toribio was originally buried in 1606. As he explained, in his time, Santo Toribio turned Zana into a beating heart of missionary activity in Peru.
Según la historia, el pueblo obtuvo 18,000 habitantes, una ciudad 100% religiosa.
The traces of some of the 14 different religious orders that were present are still visible today, including Pope Leo's own Augustinians, who lived in this massive convent. However, a series of disasters, including pirate attacks, flooding, and earthquakes, devastated Zana over the centuries. Leaving the city once known as the Seville of Peru is not much more than a ghost town today. However, with Pope Leo expected to make a Peruvian homecoming later in 2026, there is hope that the Holy Father will visit his beloved Zana once more. The regional government has even started designing plans for a visitor center and event venue at the tomb of Santo Toribio. And locals are excited about the potential impact of a papal visit.
Si Dios lo permite, visitando nuevamente el Perú y visitando nuestra parte de Lambayeque, traería mucho el desarrollo, el turismo se alarmaría a nivel de la religiosidad que ya está sucediendo en Zana.
If Pope Leo does visit, he'll likely stop by to see his old friend, Santo Toribio, a local saint who Peruvians believe continues to inspire their former bishop, now as the Pope in Rome.
He already is following his steps. And I believe and I pray to Toribio, who showed to them what he needs to do more for our church, because still we have a long way, to continue offering Jesus Christ to the people.
From Zana, Peru, Jonathan Liedl, EWTN News In Depth.